Hi, Barb. We have quorum. You may begin.
Today, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Accessibility Advisory Committee group, and this is January 15th, 2026. So I'd like to ask for an adoption of the agenda. And it's the recommendation that the agenda of the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting dated January 15th, 2026 be approved as circulated. Do I have a motion to approve? Judy, and a seconder. I'm not sure who that was. You're going to have to tell me. Karen?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. That's great. And all in favor? Myself, I raise my hand. Thank you. And I'm assuming it passes. Is that correct?
Yes, carried.
Thank you, carried. Thank you. And I'd like to know if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interests from the committee members regarding our agenda today.
There's no one.
Seeing none, we can move on. Approval of the minutes. It's recommended that the minutes of the advisory committee meeting dated November 20th, 2025 be approved as circulated. May I have a motion to approve, please? Okay, Diane. And second? Not
Sandra
sure who the
seconds.
second is. Thank you. All right, all in favor? Great, thank you. And deputations. Clerk, do we have any deputations today?
No, we do not, Barb.
Okay, thank you so much, Bessie. Working group reports. Do we have any working group reports, or do we want to delay that until we talk about the accessibility event preliminary discussions under new business?
So I would say it'd be your call, Barbara. But
Okay.
the working groups from last term did conclude. So if there's any sort of, I guess, conclusions we want to provide today, we can. Otherwise, we could always move on and talk about the work plan for this year. And we could always
Okay.
comment on the conclusions of the stuff from previous year too.
Okay. Let's forego talking about it now because I think we're going to overlap it as we go forward in time. I agree. So we won't talk about the working groups now because the work of the working groups will be quite evident throughout our discussion today. Thank you. And next one is other reports. So for the District Accessibility Advisory Committee update, the committee has not met since our last meeting, so there's nothing to report there. And then the second one is the Community Living South Muskoka update. Kelly, did you have anything to report?
I do. So good news. We had just before Christmas, we had a large donor come in and we have attained our goal for our accessible vans. We met that, which is amazing. We have two upcoming events. Tomorrow night, we are being recognized at the Bears game in Bracebridge. And then we will be at Fire and Ice, educating the community on the things that the agency do. So I'll have more of an update at our next meeting, but the news about our van's pretty exciting.
That is super exciting. Thank you so much, and congratulations on that. And what a wonderful opportunity for the family who has the van. That's great. Judy, is there any update on the Gravenhurst Trails Committee?
No, I haven't heard anything yet for the next meeting. So.
Your mic's
Any
off.
unfinished business? Yeah. Any unfinished business, clerk? Anybody? Nope.
No, there's no
Okay.
unfinished business, Barb.
Thanks, Bessie. And for new business, we have the amazing 2026-2030 multi-year accessibility plan review. So this is the first draft that, well, the draft that we've seen that's quite extensive. And so I wanted it to be noted that there's a recommendation to bring this forward to council. And so what I'd like to do is read the recommendation, get some motions, and then before we vote, ask if there's any discussion on this item. So the recommendation is, whereas the Accessibility Advisory Committee reviewed the 2026-2030 multi-year accessibility plan at its meeting on January 15th. Be it resolved that the Accessibility Advisory Committee endorses and supports the submission of the 2026 to 2030 multi-year accessibility plan to council for its consideration and approval. So as I said, could I have a motion and a second for this, and then we'll have a discussion period. Yeah, I still can't tell who it is. Sorry.
Karen moves it, and seconder can be Judy.
Thank you so much. Sorry, Karen and Sandra, I can't tell you. I just can't see that. That angle's just not working. Okay, thank you so much. And any discussion on this item? You all received it ahead of time with our packets. Quite an extensive document. Thoughts? Well, let me kick off a few of my thoughts. I thought it was an excellent document, so thank you so much to Jonathan for bringing it home for us. I think it'll do a really amazing job in helping to improve accessibility across Gravenhurst in the next few years. It gives a great starting point. I know that as the budget years roll through to 2030, that there'll be new projects that will be added to the list of things that we will be doing as a committee, but also as a town to support accessibility. So I just wanted to say, I think it's a really good, solid plan. Any other thoughts? And just so you know, I did cross-reference the multi-year plan with the town's 2026 budget and what aspects in there are related to accessibility. And it all aligns very nicely. I had a few questions that I asked Deputy Clerk about, and I was very satisfied with those answers. So I think we're in a really, really good position for this. All right. Any comments before we vote on this?
Not seeing any, so I think we're good to vote.
Sounds great. Could we have a show of hands on who approves this resolution as read, going forward and putting this document forward to council? Thank you. Okay, I see that it passes. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to move on to the Recreation for All policy review. So again, you received this document ahead of time. I did have a chance to look at the document and give some feedback on it before you all saw this version of it. I think that Director Patterson did an excellent job in trying to capture not only what they do as a operations, but how they support people with accessibility needs and other needs. And so I'm going to do the same as I did the other document. I'm going to read the resolution, ask for a first and a second, and then open the floor for any comments. So it's recommended that whereas the Accessibility Advisory Committee reviewed the Recreation for All policy at its meeting on January 15th, 2026. Be it resolved that the Accessibility Advisory Committee endorses and supports the submission of the Recreation for All policy to council for its consideration and approval. May I have a first and a second, please? Diane, for sure. Yes.
And Sandra is second.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right. I'm going to do the pause now and see if there's any comments, questions, anything.
Is this for total accessibility for all sports, or what, is it zeroing in on one thing, or just like, I don't know. What is it, Barb, do you know? Is it concentrating on all sports?
It's it's a really good question. I don't know if it's definitely everything that falls under the recreation department's mandate. So what they are doing and creating their programs and services that falls under that. So I guess the easiest answer to say is not all sports, because I'm assuming they don't do all sports, but Jonathan, do you have a better answer?
I would say it's just it's a general catch-all policy to say that where possible and wherever it can, the Recreation Department will ensure that its policy or its programs and services are accessible to all individuals, regardless of age, ability, and in some cases, cost as well. So they're trying to make things easily obtainable and accessible. Yeah.
Does that help, Sandra? And thank you for that, Jonathan.
So are they zeroing in on like the arena, for instance, or the programs at the Y, or do you know?
Not the Y, because the Y is a different entity, I believe. I believe we rent the space for the Y to be there, and we support them as a town in other ways. But I think this just covers the recreation programs that Gravenhurst is responsible for. Jonathan?
No, I was just going to say that in the application section of the policies, it applies to the rec programs, employees, and partners that provide services. So it could be assumed that if the YMCA is a partner of the town, that they would be covered, or it would apply to them as well. Don't know how that would work, but it's still within the policy.
Okay. Are there specific questions that you think we should ask Jonathan to ask Director Patterson about, that we can get back to us, that would make you feel more comfortable about this policy, Sandra?
It would just be interesting to know what it actually covers. Like, I would assume it covers recreation at the parks and recreation at the beaches and that sort of thing, but I just wondered if it extended into other things like town things or whatever.
Like, when you say town things, what do you mean?
Well, okay, like for instance, the town, does it run the baseball league, for instance? So, no, okay, so this is just what the town provides then? Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Kelly?
But the town does have a list of activities that they offer that this would cover under this. So it's recreational or cooking classes or all of those types of activities people can sign up for
Okay.
that would be incorporated under this.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, you guys comfortable voting on this now then? All right, let's do a vote. All in favor? Okay. Looks like that carries. Thank you. Jonathan, if there's anything in our questions that is pertinent to ask Dr. ask Director Patterson, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we've passed this on to council, okay? So the next one is our 2026 accessibility event preliminary discussion. So I'm going to hand this over to the subgroup that is working on this and ask that you give us an update on where you're at with things. Let us know if there's anything we can do to support your work. And remember, you're not alone. Although you're a subgroup that works on this, you're taking the lead on it, but we are all in it. All the members of the committee are in it to help you. So feel free to start doling out things to all of us. Thank you. So I'll leave it to you guys to give us an update. Thank you.
So we have our event set for May 9th from 10 till 2, Thursday, May 9th, at the Senior Center in Gravenhurst. The Senior Center is happily agreed to cater for us. We have gone over a list of speakers as well as a list of potential vendors who could also offer rather information sessions or hands-on activities for learning experiences for the community. So we're just trying to, now we're in the process of booking those. So hopefully at the next meeting, we'll have some concrete. We already have a couple, but we're still waiting back on responses. We are in the process now of, or at the point where we need to make some advertising, working on our advertising plan. So I don't know if that's something that we need to work with the town on, to do our flyer and kind of come up with, like, I don't know if we want to get it on the radio or how we want to advertise or through social media or what the best way is, or make up little cards that we can leave at the senior center or leave at the curling club or the doctor's offices, other locations that is our target audience would be attending. But I think we're in a good position for being this far out, but still lots of work to do. And I think closer to, we're going to need kind of all hands on deck. But at this point, I think we have things under control.
Excellent. So one thing. Thursday, May the 7th, I think it is, not the 9th. The
Thank
9th
you.
is a Saturday. So Thursday, May the 7th is the event. So Jonathan, you're up next, I think, right?
Yeah, just wanted to note, the event has a $5,000 budget. So, and I confirmed with Shauna Patterson, Director of Recreation, that anything you determine to, I guess, be used or paid for the events, that $5,000 is at your discretion. So whether you like to do radio ads, pamphlets, that sort of thing, is completely up to you. However, I can definitely tell you that radio ads can be fairly expensive. But also, yes, for the marketing plan, the sooner we tap into our communications departments, communications and marketing, they actually just formed this year, the better we'll be able to have a good game plan and work plan leading up to the event.
So will you be able to connect us with, perfect.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, who is Jonathan specifically connecting with on our committee as far as the communications and marketing is concerned?
So the two individuals we'll tap into will be Mike Jennings, the manager of communications and engagement, and Leanne Federley, who is the marketing coordinator.
Okay. And on our team, Kelly, who is it, Diane and yourself, or who is it that they're connecting with?
Yes, please.
Okay, Diane and Kelly then for our team. Okay, that'd be great.
This is also a good
Okay.
segue as well for when we talk about the work plan. So Kelly and Diane, if you wouldn't mind being part of the working group for the event as well, which I think would probably be included in the work plan as a working group for the event.
Sure.
And just to add to Kelly's update, last when we met, we collected, I think it was Penny who collected a number of interest from various groups from the Health Hub for people who wanted to attend. And I had created a list just because they were basically just flyers handing out. So I have a starting point of vendors. I'm not sure if you had contacted, not all of them, but we were going to go based on this list, and we can certainly add to it. It can be a running, living, breathing document as we go forward for the vendors who are going to be there.
So I'm a little bit unclear on who you were directing that to, Diane. I think it's wonderful what you've done, but I'm not quite sure who you were asking.
I was just adding to Kelly's update about the vendors just to, because I know she said that a couple of people have been involved, but I just wanted to put on record that the work Penny had collected is now in a sort of spreadsheet that could be. So just to say that it's out there.
That's perfect. That helps me. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Spreadsheets are a wonderful thing. Okay. You guys are doing gangbusters on this event. That's wonderful. Again, when you need us to step in and help, either before or certainly the day of, let us know what you need from us. Otherwise, we'll be asking you for an update at every meeting so that we can get a sense that we're on target and on task with things. And so as far as budget and stuff is concerned, and that sits under Shauna, is she the one that they should go, Shauna Patterson, is she the one that they should go to directly if they have questions about how to pay for vendors or how to get reimbursed, et cetera, what the protocols are? Jonathan?
I would say that if there's any invoices used to purchase items, services for the event, they should come to me because I can apply them to the workflow process. So don't worry about going to Shauna. They can come to me.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. So, all right. So make sure you connect with Jonathan about processes for invoices and or reimbursement so that nobody's surprised. That would be great. And gosh,
Well, I have it on my mind, sorry. Our town uses pre-authorized payments and sending them electronically. So if you're using personal cards to purchase these, or even corporate cards to purchase these services or items, we got to make sure that we have your information to be able to transfer them electronically. So I'll give you guys forms to fill out, and we'll have them on hand for when we reimburse you.
wonderful. Super duper. All right. Anything else with regard to the event? Anything else you guys want to share publicly? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on to the 2026 work plan discussion. I'm assuming, Jonathan, that's something that you're going to put up on the screen for us?
Yes, I'll just ask Bessie if she can be able to put it on the screen. 2026. Well, did we want to go over 2025 first, or did you want to go straight into the 2026 discussions? You're on mic, by the way, or on mute.
Sorry, thank you. It's probably best to do 2025 first if we can. It just depends on how you've got things set up. So if that's going to create a problem, we can do 2026 first. So Jonathan, you want to lead us through this? And I only say that because it's about a 6-point font on my screen right now.
Sure. So the first, we're just confirming, I guess, going through each individual action item that we did for last year, and then, well, I guess, am I just summarizing, or am I just also saying this is something we could potentially do for next year? How would you like to approach this?
Both. So in the last column, we're just trying to, I don't know if it's outstanding. Maybe
Okay.
the last column should be final status or something like that. So
Yep.
final status, have we even done anything? And is this something we're going to roll over to 2026?
Sure. So the first objective was the review of municipal policies and plans. So that working group came together a number of times last year to go over the policies as well, in conjunction with the reaching out to get more information about the pilot project that we were going to actually launch. So I would say that in terms of this particular objective, it is complete. No study items beyond technically the pilot project, which is now, because it's been approved council through budgets, is now in my hands to put in an RFP for this year. And the policies have both been approved by council at their December meeting, so all is good in terms of our policy documents in town. The next objective was the Gravenhurst Multi-Year Accessibility Plan. Surprise, surprise, we got that completed and approved, or should I say endorsed by the committee today, so I appreciate that. Its next step would be to go to council for review and approval, which is actually due for Tuesday. So you're welcome to watch, come in, provide some cheering on as I present it to you. Councils, come up to you. The next would be advocacy and education for accessible community. This is a ongoing item. However, with respect to the, I guess, social posts and reaching out to individuals with disabilities and showcasing them, I don't know if there was any sort of outcome with respect to that. If that's something we want to continue on for this year, something maybe we want to put on the back burner as an item for the next term for the committee. But in terms of your participation at the farmers markets, that was, I could say, a success. And we appreciate and thank everybody for being able to attend that. And finally would be the ongoing review of internal and external project development plans. This is a stationary or statutory item, I would say, on the work plan for whenever there are project plans and ones that you guys would like to review as a committee. This is definitely for you guys to have on hand within your work plan. We have 6 months left of official committee meetings. That being said, if there were to be any plans that come up between June and October, or even November of this year, you guys would be able to review those in an ad hoc meeting. So we'll let you know if anything comes up officially, and if you guys, or even Barbara, notice anything you would like to review as a committee, we can definitely facilitate ad hoc meetings as required. So my recommendation would be to push the advocacy and education and the ongoing review of development plans to the 2026 work plan. And whatever in addition to that, I would probably see the accessibility event being included on there is, again, completely up to you guys. So I'll leave it with that.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? Okay. All right. So we switch. Oh, I'm going.
Sorry, Barbara. I was just that you mentioned that the, multi-year accessibility plan's going to council this Tuesday. Was there any date or timeline for the recreation draft? Just curious.
That is with the Director of Recreation and Arts, Recreation, Arts and Culture. I don't know when what her timeline is for presenting that to council. That said, when I see it as a item on a future agenda, I can let you guys know about it if you want to attend or review the meeting where it's discussed by council.
Okay, great. Thank you. I was just curious of the timing on it.
Okay, any other comments or questions about the 2025 work plan? We had quite a few things on our work plan, so I think, I do agree with Jonathan to carry over the last two items into 2026 work plan. And I think some of that will, certainly the last item on 2025 will be taken care of probably quite nicely with the event that we're going to host on May the 7th. So if there's nothing else, let's flip over to the 2026 work plan.
So I have it open as well as Bessie. So what I can do is I can edit as required and include objectives and some drafts, goals, and actions for any new item you guys would like to include, and as well as edit the advocacy and education objective, however you guys would like to approach that. You guys can figure out or iron out tentatively who wants to be in what work plan or working group, but they don't have to officially form until after this work plan is approved by council. So if we were able to get that approved today, we'd be able to get it in front of council for February's meeting, at which point you'll be able to start running on the objectives of the work plan.
That's excellent. I think it would be great if it could get approved today. So to make sure that we're carrying over from 2025 to 2026, those last two lines, you want to take some time and just paste those puppies in here now? I see you've got the advocacy one. Is the other one in here too?
Yes, it's just on the next page.
Okay,
you scroll
perfect.
down.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
So I wonder, oh, there it is. Okay. So going back up to the top, I wonder if our event itself doesn't need to be necessarily aligned by itself. Could we merge the event lightly into the advocacy and education actions?
I see them being two unique items, because I could say that if we were to lump in the event with the outreach for, say, for example, I would assume you guys are going to the farmer's market again this year for outreach. I wouldn't necessarily want to pin those individuals with the events.
Gotcha. Okay.
That would be a
gotcha.
lot of
Okay.
work because for those who are working, I
Okay.
mean, I'm not saying you can't, but it used to be a lot of tasks for you guys to do for this year.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So, what else do we want to say on the access event as far as action items? Are we down to the, you know, get a theme, get an event, get people? Thank you.
As I write, by all means, offer stuff up. Don't be shy.
Do you have any meetings, thank you, that are already, have you stated any meetings for volunteers?
No, I was hoping at the end of this meeting we could set our
Okay.
Does anybody have any other actions you want to include for the event?
Communications, something to do with marketing, work with marketing and communications to disseminate materials and communications, something like that. Kelly and Diane, is there anything else that would be pertinent to put up here? We don't have to go into too much nitty gritty, but the one thing I'm thinking about is an overall theme or objective of the event. We need, not that we need to say it now, but we need to create it maybe.
Okay, maybe our subcommittee could talk about that at our next meeting and see if we can come up with a theme. I didn't know if we wanted to have something around education. We talked previously about inviting the town staff as well to come out and educate them. I don't know if that's to experience, especially if we're going to have the different sensory activities where you kind of live with some, like a mobility issue or a hearing issue, like just to be more empathetic to others' needs. I don't know if that's could be an action item, but I think it's important.
Mhm. I think that's also important because it was in our directive from the council before that they wanted to see an event like that done. So this helps round that out a bit. Jonathan, what are your thoughts on that?
Just with my deputy clerk hat on, I would want to approach our HR departments because I can't necessarily see us having this as a forced sort of training.
Encouraged to attend.
Encouraged, yes. So I can work with their HR to create some
The highlight of a lunch.
communications. Yeah, since it's going over a lunch hour, we could potentially have a couple staff going there, and definitely would be an invite to all for sure. They were able to attend, but yeah, I can work with the HR department to work in the logistics of that and how it would work.
Could we add something on here about an action item to work with, to work with HR department to decide how to engage employees and council members in this event? Maybe something like that.
My comment was going to be in relationship to council as well as an invitation, and then other speakers. So I'm not sure, like perhaps other provincial MPs, things like that, like secure invitation or send invitation. I don't know if that needs to be a standalone or if it's covered under.
It's important enough to be a standard.
Oh, okay, great.
That's great. Thank you so much, you guys. Great input.
When we're sending an invitation out to someone at that level, does it come from the committee or is that coming from the town, or how does that work?
It'd be either or.
Either or?
Yeah. The communication for the local MP, MPP is available to the public. So you could always reach out as a representative of the committee to be able to invite them. And, or if you would like to get an official invite from the town, we can always ask.
Would it be beneficial for one of the marketing members to come to our next meeting and we could have more of a discussion around that, or?
Sure, yeah, I can invite them. Yeah.
That'd be great. It's probably a great time to bring them in and ask them to help us shore this up a bit so we can get going. If there's a pre-meeting that Kelly and Diane maybe want to do ahead of time, that might be helpful too, so that we're all, you three at least are on the same page as you're having these open discussions and bringing us in on them.
Absolutely, we can do that if you can set us up with some times.
Yeah, we'll make sure that you guys meet with Mike and / Leanne before the next meeting, so they'll know exactly what they're getting into.
That's perfect, you guys. Anything else about this accessibility event? If not, we'll move on to the next item. I think we've got a lot here. And you guys have planned, I know you all have planned events many times in your lives, so there's a lot of moving parts here. And we're well on our way to doing an excellent event. So thank you for that. All right. I have one other suggestion of an item to go on here, and maybe it does or doesn't need to be on here. The town is approved in its 2026 budget an accessibility strategic plan. So I wasn't sure if we needed to put it on our work plan as something that might come our way. I can go either way on that. So what do you guys think? Does it need to go on our work plan, or is it just something that's going to come to us when the town's ready for our input, and that's fine?
I would suggest it not going on the work plan. It's with staff to arrange. I'm currently developing an RFP and working with the future consultants to develop the plan. That said, though, there will be consultation pieces associated with the plan and developing it. So we would definitely tap into you guys for feedback and consultations. But I would say it's incidental as a committee and not necessarily something that would have to be ironed out within the work plan itself. But if you guys have a different opinion, by all means.
That's fine with me. Is everybody else okay with that? All right. So from my point of view, I think we've got a really solid 2026 work plan. Now, this is just for us to do from now until June. And then we go from there because our term ends in June, right, Jonathan?
Yes, it does. Well, not necessarily the term, but the meetings, official meetings we have scheduled ends in June. Your term doesn't end until technically the next council term begins in November. This with respect to the advocacy and education item, did you want to keep the research the social posts for those in the committee with accessibility?
Can we wait until after our discussion with the marketing team and see how realistic that is and how much, how much support we would get on that? And then we can decide next meeting, or I guess we need to know now if we're going to approve it.
I mean, it'd be good if we got an approval, a seal of approval today. We could always include it. And if it doesn't get done this year, we're not going to get lashed by council. So I would say that if it can't be done this year, then that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's keep it on there, knowing that it may or may not happen, and we're okay with that. All right. Anything else about our work plan? So remember, we've got the event. I'm going to ask you to scroll, Bessie. We've got the advocacy one, and then the last one is on the last page, ongoing review of internal and external project development plans. And there are quite a few in plans that we'll be looking at as 2026, 27, et cetera, rolls through, because there's quite a few things that the town is doing that will come our way. So that'll be really exciting to see. Okay, anything else for this one?
I'll pad it and flesh it out, especially for the accessibility event. But the general gist of the information is on the work plan. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to do a resolution to pass it forward to council at this point, or is it just something you guys take care of?
If you could actually approve it through a motion, that'd be fantastic.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve, please? If you could take it down, but thanks, Bessie. Motion to approve.
So move.
Karen's moving.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. And seconder? Thank you,
Judy.
Judy. All in favor? All in favor? I'm still looking for hands, sorry. Okay, that's great. Thanks, guys. Perfect. Okay, I think that's done then. Seeing no correspondence, I think we're on to adjournment. Our next meeting is Thursday, February the 19th at 3 o'clock in council chambers. And could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Sandra is the mover.
Thank you. And a seconder, please?
And
Thanks,
Judy's the
Judy.
seconder. Second.
All right, that's great. And all in favor to adjourn, please raise your hands. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. So carried. We are adjourned. So Bessie, let us know when we are off live.